Hey guys, so we have some exciting news. We actually are building a car for SEMA 2020, and it is a 2013 Subaru BRZ, and this is just a little preview of what it may look like when it's all done. But we got a lot of work and a long road ahead, considering that SEMA 2020 is still in fact about a year away. So lots to do between now and then, which is plenty of time to do, I think, everything that we're wanting to do. We've already reached out to quite a few vendors for parts for this vehicle. And then we have some massive plans for the paint scheme, the paint job itself. And more details to come on that one. Just go ahead and follow us. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube link. We're going to be doing videos like this all the time. And then Facebook and Instagram, of course, make sure that you follow us there too. It's sitting right outside. Why don't we go take a look at it real quick?
You can just go whenever and we'll just cut.
Okay. So it's January 2021 and we're talking about our SEMA build. So our SEMA build was specifically for 2020, but if you were alive in the year 2020, you know 2020 was a bit of a mess.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got breaking news! SEMA 2020, as we officially know it, has been canceled!
The second largest convention has been canceled for 2020, due of course to the pandemic. The Special Equipment Market Association, which involves the auto industry, usually takes place in November, draws about 160,000 people to our city of Las Vegas. It now is scheduled for November 2nd through the 5th of 2021.
So anyway, SEMA didn't happen live, and we are regrouping. We kind of put the car on the back burner for just a little bit, mainly because we had to focus on some stuff around here, building product, designing a new product, just a lot of admin stuff. And anyway, so we're circling back around, gonna get it rocking, gonna make it happen. SEMA 2021. It's almost finished up. We just gotta jam it out and get paint on it. And I think we're ready to rock. A couple other minor details.
Maybe I'll play that Bob Marley song. We're jamming.
We're jamming. We're jamming. We're jamming.
We're stupid. Okay.
It's a neat little car. It's got a couple love bumps on it and some hail on it, but I do really love that Subaru blue. It's quite cool. This guy actually has an aftermarket exhaust on it already, the NVIDIA, as you can see there on the side of the vehicle, aftermarket wheels, and then a cold air intake. So a lot of big plans coming up for this guy. But that's it. I am actually pretty thoroughly impressed with the Boxer engine on these things. It's quite quick. I wouldn't call it a fast car, but it will definitely get up and go. It's more at the top end, hit about 4,000 RPM, and it just takes off. It throws you into the back of your seat. When we got the car, it came with this key fob. About all we got with it. It's a push start, which is sweet, but the downside to that is, your electronics got to work or else the car's not going to start. So we ran into some problems there initially starting off. With this bad boy is broken, and so got a key fob for it, and I'm hoping that we can get this thing programmed. So we'll keep you up to date on that. Let's see if we can make that happen, because I hear that sometimes that's a giant pain in the butt. So the first portion of the build that I'm going to focus on, because we have massive plans for it, but we don't have a lot of the parts in right now. I'm going to focus on the rear diffuser, which is actually this guy right here, that one attached to the bumper. I'm not phenomenal at Photoshop, but I was able to mock this up real quick. What we're gonna do is that diffuser, if any of you are familiar with like diffusing technology on vehicles, is it's really more of a race-driven technology. It's meant to bring the backside of the vehicle down and suck those rear wheels to the road. Anymore in our culture, it's more just for looks and style, which is slick. I think it's really cool.
But add a diffuser, and now we're really making sausage. I mean, downforce. A diffuser is typically a rear under tray shaped to make a gradually bigger space at the back of the car. But some race cars have front diffusers too. It activates what's called a Venturi effect, which is when a fluid speeds up as it flows through a more constricted area, like the space under your car. And remember Bernoulli's principle that says a fast-moving fluid has lower pressure? Yup! That means even more downforce.
So anyway, what we're gonna do is we're going to go ahead and grab an aftermarket diffuser, which was kind of hard to do because I really didn't find anything that I liked. They're all relatively fugly, but this one particular, I think it is okay. We'll go ahead and get it on order. It's got some nice aggressive curves to it, and we can work with that. So, in addition to that, what we're going to do is we're going to modify that diffuser in a way that we think looks really unique, which is actually this design right here. I'll go ahead and we'll document that portion of it.
Got this guy in today. Looks like this is our diffuser for our BRZ build. Let's crack it open and see how it looks. So what we're gonna do with this guy is we're actually gonna create a custom, we're gonna customize this diffuser. We're gonna add kind of a vent area here, maybe some custom lighting, and then maybe even a backup camera. So let's get to it.
As you can see, it has these flares on it that definitely will be flaring out from the exhaust, which will look really, really slick. It'll protrude off of the back of the bumper. What we're gonna kind of figure out is, do we want this to be even with the flares, or do we want it to sit out a little bit further, or maybe even in concave just a bit? So we're gonna play around with a couple different styles and get our sides built and our bottom built, and then we'll cut this out and kind of start figuring out what we want to do with the mesh. Working on the BRZ diffuser, just mocked up some of our customizations in cardboard. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut this out. We're going to put a mesh in it, and maybe add a couple more fins right here just to even up with the bottom of the stock diffuser, or the one that we ordered in. So I'm going to glue all this together, and then I'm going to take it apart, and we're going to create a template out of it, and we're going to weld it up. We'll see how it turns out. All right, so just got the cardboard cut out, all finished up. And that guy is gonna go right on there like that. So I'm gonna mock it up, see how it looks, see if I like it, make any changes to it. I got my stencils laid out, and so I can clean those up. The nice thing about doing this out of cardboard is obviously you can manipulate the paper however you want to make sure that it fits these grooves perfectly. And then of course, there will be some trimming once we get to the metal phase. So, all right, so I know I said that we were gonna cut this out of metal, but I remembered we have a 3D printer. And to be able to attach this to the diffuser itself, I needed like some attachment points. So I went in and I catted it up real quick. So basically I created these ledges on this diffuser piece, and I added some screw holes. And because it's too big to fit on the print bed of our 3D printer, I went ahead and had to slice it in half. So I added some, you know, screw holes there and here so that I could epoxy these two pieces together, screw them together, and then screw this to the diffuser. So get that up on the 3D printer and see what it looks like. There it is. This diffuser attachment is all printed off. So we had to print this in 2 halves because our 3D printer is actually not big enough to print this entire thing, which is like a foot wide. Actually, I think it was 14 inches wide. So I had to split it in 2. I'm not sure if you can see there, but there's a split right down the middle. And then I just created some screw holes on either side, along with a screw right there in the center. And so I printed it in 2 separate halves, and then we screwed it together, and it fits up to the diffuser well. And if any of you don't really know what this is or what the heck we're talking about yet, I'll show you how it fits. Give me just a couple seconds to continue ranting. The print was relatively nice. There are a couple little blemishes here and there that we can come back and we'll sand down, and I'll fill in with epoxy, and we're gonna seal up this gap with epoxy too. I'll take it back apart, we'll sand it down, we'll fill that gap with epoxy, we'll strengthen it up. And it's relatively light already, and already pretty dang sturdy. We printed this out of a carbon fiber reinforced polycarbonate, which I'm excited about. Now this diffuser is built out of fiberglass. Found this guy online. I really like the grooves and the accents of this one. It's still kind of rough. It's got some blemishes on it also, but we'll bodywork that out and we'll paint it. But our attachment will actually just line up right there, and there will be a nice little grill I've got on order that we're gonna integrate into that as well. And then I need to mock up a design for a backup camera and a bracket for that. And then there are some screw holes we put into this, we designed into this. And so we'll mock up a template, and then this guy will screw right up along with a little gasket that we've got set up for here also. So that's what it'll look like, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull this apart, sand it down, get it epoxied together. Thanks for watching. That is the update for this portion of the build. Obviously, we're still gonna keep rolling and rolling, so tune in next time. Make sure that you like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube, follow us on Instagram, and we'll catch you later.